Hello again, and to start today's video, I figured we would feed our brains with some good literature first before we jump into Reddit and destroy our brains. We'll read Sonnet to Science by Edgar Allan Poe. Science, true daughter of old time thou art, who alterest all things with thy peering eyes. Why preyest thou thus upon thy poet's heart? Vulture, whose wings are dull realities, how should he love thee, or how deem thee wise, who wouldst not leave him in his wandering, to seek for treasure in the jeweled skies? Albeit he soared with an undaunted wing, hast thou not dragged Diana from her car, and driven the Hamadryad from the wood, to seek a shelter in some happier star? Hast thou not torn the Naiad from her flood, the elfin from the green grass, and from me, the summer dream beneath the tamarind tree? By Edgar Allan Poe. Just some good brain food first before some Reddit stories. So, let's get started. And thank you for tuning in. We'll start first with an Am I the Asshole? And today, this first one is a bit long. It's Am I the Asshole for ruining a child's life? It depends. What'd you do? Okay. And Reddit apparently said they are not the asshole. Let's see if we. Today I started talking to an American mother while in A&E, which is like an urgent care, I think. Her child was interested in the artwork I have on my leather jacket, as it's pretty colorful. The mother mentioned that her daughter's name was Grain, so I assumed for a while that she was another mother who wanted something special to call her child. I remarked that it was a unique name and that I'd never met anyone called Grain before. She told me that she's named after her great-grandmother and that it's an Irish name. At this point, the alarm bells are ringing in my head because I've realized that the kid is called Grain, generally pronounced as Gronu, or thereabouts. I have no idea if I'm doing that right. I tried to be very tactful and I was like, Irish has such an interesting alphabet. How is her name spelled? Irish names can be tricky. The kid is called Grain, not Grain. My partner, who has studied Ireland's political history as part of their dissertation, and also the Irish diaspora and its culture about their university city, is stuck somewhere between stifling a laugh and dying of embarrassment on her behalf, so I come up with what I thought was a very positive reply. I said, an old school name and a more modern pronunciation. I think that's a great way to pick names. I would like to point out that I do not like the name Grain for a child, nor do I like the way the pronunciation was butchered, but I was trying to be tactful and positive. She asked what I meant, and I said, well, in Ireland, they typically pronounce it like Gronu. Her face went red, and I said that I shouldn't have said the pronunciation was wrong in front of the kid, because now she's going to grow up knowing that her name is wrong and feel bad about it. I apologized for causing offense and restated that it's a lovely name in both ways and a fantastic nod to her heritage. I said that I'm sure her great-grandmother would be thrilled to be honored by her name being used. I was throwing out just about every positive reinforcement that I could think of, but to be frank, she was pissed off. She told me that I ruined her daughter's self-esteem and that her life was ruined by me saying that her existence is wrong. I don't think she said that. I didn't say that, by the way. I said that her name was pronounced atypically. Gronu, for context, was around 2 years old and completely unbothered by the conversation until her mother got angry at me. She was just looking at the pictures on my jacket. The conversation was maybe 5 minutes long, but I managed to ruin this kid's life. Hindsight says I should have kept my mouth shut and waited for somebody else in the city to say something. So, am I the asshole? Edit. Spelling and syntax edit. Some people have assumed that we're in the USA. We are in the UK, in a city with lots of Irish people, an Irish center, and a great Irish folk scene. So, Irish people are very common, and she is maybe offending Irish people by having the wrong pronunciation. I don't know. You're not the asshole for just giving out a fact. The mother, I would say, is the asshole by reacting that way, especially in front of her kid. She's showing her kid that if anyone corrects you ever, the correct response to that is blow up at them, which is never the correct response, especially if you're just being corrected on something. If you don't like what you're being corrected on, just say, okay, walk away. If you can't walk away, just say, okay, nod, and just stop responding to them. Some of the comments say, OP says, I think I might be the asshole because I angered a woman, made her feel stupid, and she says, I've destroyed the self-esteem and the life of her child. Uh, this comment says, not the asshole. You didn't embarrass the child, you embarrassed the parent, which is true. You, who frankly should be embarrassed, she named her kid a name she didn't know how to pronounce. It's right. I mean, if you're gonna name your kid a name, you should probably research the name, research what it means, research how to pronounce it. She can either spell or pronounce it differently or even change it. She's in an awkward position now, but at least she can do something before school. Correct. The kid's young enough that you can change how you're pronouncing it still. A lot of the comments are just saying she's not the asshole, which I agree with. She's just awkward situation. Sometimes you get corrected and it's just awkward. I don't think you're the asshole. Moving on. R/pet behavior. Dog ruining my relationship. All right. I have a dog. So let's see if I agree with you. I have been dating a guy for over 5 months now. So it's a new relationship. It's not like a long-term thing yet. He is caring, smart, and very calm. Seems like you like him. He has 2 dogs, which I love. All right. Sasha and Zorro. Those are fantastic dog names. Sasha is very intelligent and intuitive, and Zorro is very high energy and very sweet. They both are very well behaved. So far, it looks like you like those dogs. My problem in this situation is that my boyfriend is used to sleeping in bed with both of them, and for me, because of hygiene and how disruptive dogs are, sleeping with them in the same bed is an absolute no. Alright. I live alone and keep my room very clean, and my bed sheets I change often as I work night shifts and suffer from PMDD, so my room is my sanctuary. Okay. Anyway, every time I stay at my boyfriend's house, we sleep with 2 dogs in the same room, and sometimes they just walk around the room and insist on getting on the bed with us, because that's what they're used to. It's their home. When that happens, my boyfriend just looks at me and says, "This is not okay," which really bothers me, as I have told him I don't want to sleep with them in the same bed, with 5 exclamation points. 2 weeks ago, I was sleeping and the dog woke me up, and I was so tired from work that my defense mechanism at 3 a.m. was to cry, and the next day I couldn't work because I had a bad night. That night he apologized to his dog for kicking her out of the bed, and not to me for not controlling the situation. After that situation, I stopped talking to my boyfriend for 1 week, and after the week passed, I contacted him and we compromised about me letting the dogs watch TV with us on top of the duvet, and he said he was going to compromise to put them on a leash next to the bed. That's horrible. Last night I was so inflamed. I have been dealing with PMDD all week. My boyfriend has been cooking for me at my place. We went for a walk with his dogs, and when we got to his place, we watched TV with the dogs. At the time, we decided to turn off the TV. My boyfriend turns to me and says, "Good night," and I asked him, "Aren't you going to move the dogs out of the bed?" And he said, "Oh, but they are sleeping," and proceeded to hug me and expected me to sleep with 2 dogs after I told him so many times I don't want to. "I'm super clean," I've cried. I have left the apartment at 3 a.m. and he still don't compromise to the dogs, not to sleep on the bed. Today I told my boyfriend it was better to end things because after last night, I don't think he listens to me or compromises, but he doesn't see this as a big deal as he idolizes his dogs and is in love with them. I'm sad because this guy is great. Adding info. I never mistreat the dogs, I just don't idolize dogs as they were babies. I just want to sleep in a clean bed and be able to sleep properly with no noise. Am I being irrational? Yes. Yes, you are. As a dog owner, yes, you are. Because that's their home, that's their bed, that's how they live. And what you are essentially doing after just 5 months is coming into their home, kicking them off their bed, and saying to them, you can't sleep here anymore because I say you can compromise by changing the sheets more frequently, wiping the dog's feet before you get on. Those are the things I do with my dog. I always wipe her feet after walks and I change the sheets frequently, but she sleeps in the bed because this is her home and this is her bed. She's always slept in the bed and she's going to until she leaves me. So coming into a relationship at just 5 months and trying to completely change how this guy lives with his pets, you are irrational. Let's see what the comments say. My dog sleeps on top of the covers. I generally have bad nighttime allergies and never had a problem with him on top of the covers. Need to break up? Yep. Okay, that I agree. Another perspective offered because you may not have considered it. Not to be snarky, maybe try therapy. Some of your behavior borders on OCD. I'm not gonna put a label on anything, but therapy is always a good option for everybody. Many relationships will not survive one person refusing to allow pets on the bed. You guys are just not right for each other. You don't like pets. It's obvious that you don't have any. It's obvious that you probably have never had pets. He has pets. He's probably had pets. And you guys are just not right for each other. He needs somebody that either has pets or is comfortable with pets and that you're not it. So, sorry. That's my advice. Next. Another Am I the Asshole? And I think this might be the last one. No, wait. Wait, I just saw a title in one of my tabs. Oh no. Okay, we have to do this one. I don't remember saving this, but yeah, we'll do this one. Okay, am I overreacting? Am I kink shaming my friend? And there's a screenshot of a text message. So let's see what it says. Alright, so person 1. Sorry, but that literally made me sick. That's not okay or healthy. I think you should really look into some support systems like therapy to understand why you would want to partake in something like that. Off the back, that's very shamey. That's very rude. That's very putting someone down. Alright, person 2. I mean, it's consensual, so I'm having trouble understanding why you think it's such a problem. Understandable. If it's consensual between 2 adults, there's no problem, as long as it's not illegal. Person 1 again. Sure, but I feel like it gets to a point, lol. This has honestly just been bothering me because it feels so weird seeing you walk around with bruises and cuts. Also, they're into impact. Putting it here. Interesting sentence structure. My friend and I, both 19 female, have been friends for, oh, you guys are babies. Have been friends for years now, and I've always noticed she has a weird dating history. She dates men who are mean to her, and she plays it off as mean humor when it's literally constant belittling. And she has never dated anyone under a decade older than her. She has a horrible relationship with her father, so this never surprised me. However, she dislikes when I bring up how old her dating partners are. So she has a daddy kink. Some people do. Recently, she started dating some older guys again, which is normal, except she's been showing up with bruises and cuts all over her body, but mostly her face. Okay, so saying but not saying. Most of the time that I know about in the kink community, uh, impact pay is not usually done around the face just because there's so many bones and muscles and vessels that are in the face. It can be very dangerous, especially the eyes. So a lot of kink play is not done to the face. So if it's mostly on her face, it might just be abuse. I pressed her about it, and she said it was because she bruises easily when the weather's cold. My last straw was seeing her with a black eye. No joke, a full-on black eye under a bunch of concealer, and honestly, my heart dropped when I saw it. Yeah, she's being abused. I immediately assumed the worst and asked her if her boyfriend has been hitting her at all, and she responded saying she asks him to hit her. Somehow she gains pleasure from her slapping or punching her face. I don't know whether this is normal. I'm not on social media a bunch, and I have never seen something like this in my life or even considered how it can be. I told her how I felt about it, and she responded saying I'm kink shaming her. But I feel like it's deeper than that. Am I approaching this wrong somehow? Not overreacting is what the comments say. 30-year-old man gets kicked out of bruising a teenager. That's what I just read, which is true. I mean, this sounds like abuse because, like I said, a lot of times in the kink community, you don't go bruising the face. Too many things can be damaged. Um, like this comment says, there are nicer, less violent ways to play with pain sexually, ways where your partner may still be able to get out of it what they want without you feeling like a terrible person. So, yeah, I think she's being abused and she probably needs a lot of help. But she may not know yet. She has to learn the lesson on her own sometimes. Sometimes that's all you got to do. So I don't think you're overreacting. I think you just need to stay by her side and be ready to pick up the pieces when the shit hits the fan. You know what I mean? You got to just pick up the pieces when the shit hits the fan. So I think that's going to be the last story for today. I hope you guys are liking what I'm doing. And if you're not liking what I'm doing, please give me some constructive criticism. I appreciate that. Don't uh don't give me no hate, please. But yeah, if you do give me some hate, that's all right too. I mean, whatever. And do you like the hat? I've been really working on that crochet stuff, and I've been messing around. Made a jester's hat. Why not? So yeah, I'll see you next time, and we'll do some more Edgar Allan Poe and some more Reddit and see what happens.